Good evening, everybody. It is that time once more. It is a Thursday evening, and it's 8 o'clock, and it's time for Treasure Tales. We're going to have a really good show for you tonight. We got some really cool guests lined up tonight, as you will see. Some of you have seen them before, others that you've never seen before. But I tell you what, they got some really cool treasure tales to tell. So they'll be with us here shortly. But let's just, as if you were a regular watcher of Treasure Tales and you saw us on the Treasure Coast last week with Terry and Gene Shannon and Captain Carl Fismer. Uh, we had a really good time, and I hope you enjoyed the show. We ran over quite a bit from our allotted time of an hour, but you know, I'm allowed to go over whenever I want because I allot the time. But so we went over for a while, but I think everybody had a very good time. I know all of us at the house had a great time, and I want to just take a few minutes to thank those people. My wife Susan, whom I could not do anything without. She makes it all possible for me to do these things. She's very patient and puts up with me. So God bless her. And I want to thank Tim and Tina Naylor, Low Tide Tim, the Mumbles man, for he and Tina joining us on the Treasure Coast. We had a great time with them, as we always do, as well as Danny and Kathy Graham. Excuse me. It was grammar time on the Treasure Coast. Danny and Kathy Graham. I just had a great time with those wonderful people. Looking forward to spending more time with them. And Rick Tumbleson. He was in the house with us. Unfortunately, his wife Debbie came down sick at the last moment. She wasn't able to join us, and we missed her a great deal. But Rick, you're just a top-notch individual. We loved having you there. Everybody had a great time with you, and we hope to do it again real soon. So, and then we had, of course, Terry and Gene Shannon, and that is just, doesn't get much better than that. And Captain Fismer. So there were some tales going on there. And like I said, it was going to be kind of a freewheeling evening. We had cocktails at 6, dinner at 7, treasure tales at 8, and they told some stories. So the next time Terry's on Treasure Tales or Treasure Talk, we're going to get him to tell you a certain story for those that missed Treasure Tales. It was a hoot, as it always is. So let's go ahead and see if we can't say hello to some people tonight. Okay, if you are watching on Facebook, please kick above the stream, click that link, and give StreamYard the permission just to use your name. That way, during the chat, I see your name from Facebook and not just Facebook user, because then I don't know who it is. So let's say hello to a few people. Barry O'Sullivan, glad that you joined us tonight. There is a Facebook user saying hello. And there's Robert Ridgway. Hello, Robert. Glad that you are with us tonight. Terry Curie. Hey, nice to have you with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Wendy Gold Krause. Hello, Wendy. I hope that Fisher detector is rocking and socking, because in your hands, it's going to be a goodie. And I'm very glad that you won that. So then we have our special folks from Oregon out there in Goonie Land. We got Ronnie and Tiffany from Pacific Northwest Dirt Fishing, and you will be seeing some of them. I can promise you they will be here from time to time on the show. Finer people are not known to mankind. We love them here. So hello, Ronnie and Tiffany. And remember those chill pills, Ronnie. Uh, Teresa Barr Williams, what can I say? Just a magnificent individual. Just salt of the earth. So you'll be seeing some more of her too. Trust me on that one. Joe Vizzy, hello, Poppy. You keep Philip in line down there at the store, man. Gary Kerr, glad to see you're with us tonight, Gary. Good to see you. Glad you enjoyed the Treasure Coast show. It was fun. It was indeed. Yes, tomorrow is a long-awaited Noctamacro unveiling, and be sure that you are here on Treasure Talk for a special show on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Delix from Noctamacro is going to be here. She's going to debut it in the Americas. The new simultaneous multi-frequency metal detector from Noctamacro right here on Treasure Talk. So if you're watching on YouTube, find the video for questions and get them listed so we can make sure they get asked and answered. Find the entry because you might win a new simultaneous multi-frequency metal detector from Noctamacro. Win one of the new detectors. They're giving one away right here on Treasure Talk. So it's going to be a really good show. It should be very well attended. So make sure you get questions posted either on Facebook in the proper place or on YouTube because the chat is going to be crazy and we can't always catch your questions, get them asked. So please do that, will you please? And a couple more Facebook users. Jamie for Barb. Hopefully you'll be ordering one tomorrow. Yes, that'd be great. Gary Gross, how are you doing? Good to see you with us tonight. Let's see. From Newfoundland, Canada, a Facebook user. I don't know who that is, but hello to Newfoundland. Well, we got these folks are watching with us. Great people. Got a surprise for you tonight on part of the show. You are absolutely, excuse me, you are absolutely going to lose your mind at that part of the show. It's going to be awesome. Trust me, it's going to be good. And let's see who else we got here. Treasure Maze, how you doing? Glad you're here with us. Christine Hart, hello, how are you? I'm certainly glad that you are with us tonight. And I understand here that Christine Hart is the cupcake queen from Diggins, Southern Cal. Cool. I like cupcakes. They're good for me. And of course, the Mumbles man, Low Tide Tim Naylor, is in the house. My brother from another mother. Moose Nanny from New York. Glad you're here. I said Christine Hart, I think. And let's see who else. That's all that have posted in the chat right now. So I'm going to do something a little different here in December for one night, December 23rd, right here on Treasure Tales. I'm going to dedicate the whole show to the Blue Spade Society. Now that is another complete different group that I created along with my friend Tim Naylor in honor of John David, who is our very good friend who is disabled, has severe health problems. And you can learn a little bit more about that. We have a Blue Spade Society YouTube channel. We also have a Blue Spade Society Facebook group that we'd love for you to join, and where you can be a mentor, or if you're a caregiver, or if you're disabled in any way. That's what it's all about, to teach people and educate people and their caregivers and mentors about the healing properties of treasure hunting in all its forms. And so that night, December 23rd, our special guest is going to be John David, the man that we created the Blue Spade Society for. He will be here in the house. And so I know that a whole bunch of you want to stop in and say hello and meet him. You've seen him on the Blue Spade Society Facebook group page, but now you get to meet him in person. And I mean, he's a very, very special person to me and to Tim. So I think he'll also become a very special person to you, an inspiration. If you are disabled in any way, or you're having troubles, and disabilities can be a whole bunch of different things. Maybe it's just the depression from time to time. Maybe you've got vertigo. Who knows what your disability can be? It could be a myriad of things. And so you are welcome, and possibly, just possibly, if we can reach one person and let them know that they can do things that they want to do, with the help of others from the Blue Spade Society, then we're way ahead of the game. Because I'm going to tell you what, when you meet John David, you will be inspired because the man gets out there and he detects. Yeah, he takes a rollator. We nicknamed it Blue Thunder. It's a walker. He takes it. He keeps his oxygen in it. He can sit down when he needs to, take a break, do whatever. He doesn't go fast. He doesn't go far. But I'm going to tell you what, he loves metal detecting. He's a great, awesome detectorist. And he gets out there and he does what he loves to do. He found a way. So I decided I would find a way to help others. And that's the Blue Spade Society. The Blue Spade Society, the official supplier of all the equipment for any kind of a metal detecting treasure hunting, is Myers Metal Detectors out of Tampa, Florida. My brother from another mother, Phil Myers. He's the official equipment supplier, the official shovel of the Blue Spade Society, and I have one, and it is the logo is made by Excalibur Shovels. Casey Dittman. He is the official shovel and the sponsor of the Blue Spade Society and the official metal detector, and also a sponsor and a mentor of the Blue Spade Society is Fisher Labs, Fisher Metal Detectors. It doesn't get any better than that. So with 3 top-notch, I mean top of the heap sponsors like we have at the Blue Spade Society, I don't know how we can ever lose. So if you get a chance, come on over, look at the Blue Spade Society, join us, and maybe, just maybe, you can help somebody in their life with their struggles or their disability and make them have a better day. Even if it's just one day, it's worth it, isn't it? So I'm about done blathering on here. Let's see if there's any other people that joined us. Randy Goodnow. Hi, Randy. How are you? Good to see you. And Eric Schaefer. Hi, Eric. How are you, man? Good to see you tonight. Christine Hart. Yes, she's been here. And so, with that being said, it's time to get started with the show. Now, our first guest tonight is just an outstanding individual. Many of you may know him, and you're going to be real glad if you don't to know him. He's got some really good treasure stories. He's very accomplished in everything he does, and he graciously agreed to come on and be on Treasure Tales with us tonight. So let's bring him on right now. And this is Mr. Shane Skirvin from Ohio River. Hey, Shane, how are you?
What's going on, Jeff? How are you?
Oh, it's just another beautiful night here in North Florida.
I like Florida.
I do too. I don't like shovel. You don't have to shovel sunshine.
No, sir.
You're up there in Ohio, aren't you?
Actually, I'm on the Ohio River, and I live right in northern Kentucky between Cincinnati and Louisville.
Well, you get a little bit of snow up there.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do. If you got, I think you got a YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm an avid treasure hunter. I've read stories and always followed treasure hunters my whole life. When I was a kid, it was how I got into it. Was my parents stopped giving me money at the parks when for the concession stands, and so I asked for a metal detector for Christmas, and I started finding change underneath the bleachers, and that's when it all began. But yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's called Ohio River History. We run our own live stream on Thursday night, very similar to what you do here. We bring on plenty of guests and we help our community and we promote the community and do the same thing. It's called Thirsty Thursday on Ohio River History. And I metal detect at least 2 days a week and I make videos every Monday.
Cool. What kind of equipment are you using now?
This year, I'm using something from one of your most recent guests. I use the Tarsace MDT 8000 right now. I decided to spend this year with it.
That's a killer detector too, isn't it?
It's different. It's very difficult to get used to, but the technology, I'm sure, as Dimitar told you when he was on here, it's somewhere in between VLF and pulse induction. So everything sounds a little bit different. So you get to go back and re-hit all your old sites and you come up with different targets. It's been quite an interesting year using that for sure.
Yeah, well, Phil, my buddy Phil, he loves his. He's primarily a beach hunter, and he just had an extremely low tide down there in Tampa, so he took it out, and we never did get a chance to discuss what he found, but I know he found a bunch, and he's been doing rather well with it. He really likes it.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just a different style detector. The technology is different. I'm a Nokta guy normally. I've been playing with. I love the Impact and the Simplex. I play with both of those. I'm really interested in your and when Dillick comes on for Nokta and giving away that multi-frequency one, I'd like to get my hands on one of that bad boy.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I tell you what, it's not the, you know, they just don't do anything halfway. And you know, when they launch a detector, it's ready to go. There'll be stuff to go with it, and the bugs will be worked out of it. So that's the, you know, it's top notch company.
Yes, sir. I've never had any problems with any of their equipment either, not one bit.
So what's been going on with you? You've been finding a bunch of goodies.
It's not been a banner year, but some of the finds this year have been, epic to say the least, I guess. In the Ohio River Valley, we don't get a lot, we don't get much colonial, Civil War. You may get a few things, a few largies pop up out of the ground every now and again, stuff from the 1820s, 1830s on mainly. And I've had a pretty good year for old finds this year. Two of my best finds this year is I've got a pre-Civil War infantry Civil War button that's completely silver plated. It's a dress officer's coat button, and then I got another really nice 1831 large cent this year, and those have been two of the better finds this year. I just recently found a Civil War token that I'm not really sure that much of the history about. I haven't finished doing the research on it, but it was a pretty good find too.
Yeah, any find's a good find. Even if you find a Wheatie or something, that's a good find. You know, some days even a pull tab is good.
Yeah, so, when you're digging, some days most people don't understand that there's a lot of days that you go out and you don't pull anything good out of the ground. You may have done 20 hours worth of research, found your spot, and then there's just nothing there of interest. Yeah, I mean, or it's just junk. But that's part of the fun is trying to locate and find what we consider treasure.
Yeah, they don't, like we always say, you know, treasure is different for everybody. You know, I get a lot of people say, well, you know, I'd like to come on Treasure Tales. He said, but I've not found anything really good. Well, you know what? It's not about what you find. That's the farthest thing from what Treasure Tales is all about. Treasure Tales is all about what it does for you, how it makes you feel. Maybe it's when you're out hunting with your best buddies, or you know, the people that you meet. And many times, and you've been to some of these big hunts too, Shane, so you will corroborate this, I bet, that when you go to these big huge hunts, like let's say dig stock, the thing that I hear the most from the people is about the people they met and made friends with. You know, it's not about what you dug out of the ground necessarily. It's about who you got to spend the time with. And that's what Treasure Tales is about, you know, what it does for you, how it makes you feel, you know?
Absolutely. That's the benefit and the joy of the YouTube and the Facebook communities. This last year, since I actually started doing live streams and effectively trying to meet people, I've met more people and became close with people. Everybody seems to be just like me. Everybody's kind and considerate, and we all have a lot of respect for one another. And it's a really nice community, and we get to escape from everything else in this world, and we just talk about metal detecting, magnet fishing, gold panning, whatever it is that anybody wants to talk about and do. It's within our society, and we all respect each other and how we do it.
Yeah, and that's very true. It's a good thing you brought that up, because with our Blue Spade Society, you know, it's not all about metal detecting. Because let's say, for instance, we have an Iraq War veteran that's lost both his legs, is wheelchair confined. He may not be able to swing a metal detector. But I tell you what, he can wheel out onto a bridge and throw a magnet over the side and do magnet fishing. He can do coin roll hunting. You know, there's a lot of different things that he can do that he may find an interest in, that he previously he may not have known, or she. You know, we're not just restricting it to men by any stretch of the imagination. they may find something that they didn't even realize was available to them, and they may just become passionate about, and just give them a little more quality of life back to them. That's kind of where we're at with that.
Absolutely.
So we're going to do some more things on Treasure Talk. I'm looking for, top-notch magnet fishers and bottle diggers and coin experts and that type of thing, to introduce people to a lot of that, because it's a lot of it out there, and it's
Yes,
all
sir.
fun.
Absolutely.
It is all fun. So why don't you tell us a couple treasure tales?
Well, let's see. Speaking of which, on Tales, I just would like to talk a little bit about my most recent get together with some people. We went to an 1860s cabin near Amherst, Virginia. One of your former guests, treasure hunting with Swifty. We went and we visited.
He's a hoot, isn't
he is definitely a hoot. About 12 or 14 of us got together for a planned hunt. It's more of a just a get together so that people could come together. We come from Florida, Texas, Indiana, Kentucky area where I'm at, West Virginia, Virginia. Everybody came from all around. We got together. We got to spend the weekend together. The only thing that came out of the ground for me that weekend was a really old Virginia dog tag from like 1935 or 36. I can't remember the year. Each year was original for them. So they like in the first few years, every year that they made a tag, it had a very unique, distinct design. So it was real easy to identify which one it was. But going across some of them old colonial wagon trails, just walking around out in the woods in the wilderness like that, and finding a few things was a lot of fun. And then the time I got to spend with Swifty and a few of the other detectorists that was there was, that's absolutely priceless time. And that was probably one of the better events. I got to spend some time in your neck of the woods this year. FL Thunder digging with Rob in Florida. Got to spend some time with him in the Tampa Bay area. I had never been to Florida metal detecting, and I got to spend a day down there with him one day. It's just, you're right. It's more about the people. The finds are all great. And when you find something that's really nice, silver or whatnot, whatever you consider top-notch treasure, it's all really cool. But, it's who you get to share it with and how you share it that ends up being most important. It's the memory.
That's true. I have to get up with the Swifty because I was supposed to get some birthday cake sent to me, and I haven't gotten it yet.
I didn't eat none of that cake. It looked good though. It was German chocolate.
I know. I was expecting some, and I was promised some German chocolate cupcakes, but I just hadn't gotten them yet.
I'll definitely get on him for you.
I'm going to get on him myself. I'm going to. Let me check this out. Tell us some more treasure tales. I got to communicate with somebody.
Oh, absolutely. We have a local park, and we've hunted it. Whenever we don't have a permission or a farm field to go that we want to go to, or if it's during the crop season, we have a local park here it's pretty sizable. We have several fields down there in this park that we've metal detected tens, if not 50s, near 100 times a piece. And this year, this thing started giving up the goods again. We went to another side of it that we hadn't been at. And I got to have some other friends down there. Some magnet fishing friends came and visited, and we got to go down there. That was the day that the Civil War token came out of the ground. Not the Civil War token, the infantry button. And when it came out of the ground, Jeff, most of them that I've seen that had that time frame that were silver plated didn't have any silver plating left on it. Most of it had scratched off. This thing had something melted to it, stuck to it. I can't remember exactly which video I put out that had it on there, but it was in a course of a couple of weeks there. I dug that up, and then I went over, and it was like 60 foot from there. And then I come up with another large scent. And as many times as we've been over those fields, you just don't ever know that what you missed or what might pop out of the ground. So I got to share it with, friends from that time that was Michigan and New Jersey friends that I got to share it with. And one of our local easy permissions where, there's no permission needed. You just go down there and hunt. And it was absolutely a blast. And I've had some really cool finds this year with the Tarsace. The Tarsace goes extremely deep too. And if you're in a high clutter area, it's very good at target separation. Sometimes it's a little too good, and you get a little confused by what you're hearing. But yeah, I've had a really good year, and it's been really fun to show that in video and talk about it in live streams and just friends in general.
Yeah, well, Phil Myers he's been doing really well with his Tarsace. Now I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I was supposed to take it to the Treasure Coast, but as it turned out, I wasn't able to. But I could have sure used it because we had 10 tons of sand down there, and it was not fun. Let me tell you.
I really, it's got some definitely got some interesting features. I still got more to learn on it, but I've got it. It's mine, so I'll use it whenever I want. I'll probably pick up the new this coming year. I'll probably use this new Nokta for a good portion of it as soon as I can get my hands on one, and I'll probably enjoy it as well because I love the Impact. The Impact was is my favorite detector yet. It's a really good machine and goes really deep as well. But it's just the hobby is just so fun, and it's so great to meet people and join new communities like yours. Yours is slightly different than the community, the people that come into my stream, and it's really nice seeing different names and knowing that there's a whole lot more people out there that we haven't reached.
Yeah, and the thing of it is that the new Nokta, it's going to give different tones simply because of the way it operates than the Tarsace does, than Minelab does, than the Amphibio does, any of that, and it always cracks me up. We see it every week that somebody from England will say, "Oh well, I found this gold coin," and they say, "Well, what did it ring up?" What was the VDI number? Who cares? It's not going to ring up the same if you're in California as it does in England. It's not going to happen, so people need to hunt more with tones and forget about the VDI numbers,
Absolutely. I look at the VDI number, but I'm looking for the sound. I'm looking for a repeatable sound. If it's faint, let it be faint. I don't care what the number is. I just dig it.
Yeah, that's true. I do it. I do it all the time. If it's a repeatable signal, dig it because I followed people before, and you see them, they stop and they go, "Oh well, that's nothing." They go on. I'll dig that signal and it'll be a gold ring. So, you got to dig it all.
Absolutely.
So, well, I sure do appreciate you stopping by with us tonight, Shane. It's
Yes,
been
sir.
an honor, our honor to have you on here. If you see Swifty, tell him I want my cupcakes.
I will definitely do that probably within the hour.
Tell him about 2 dozen of them would be good.
Yeah,
I'm
since he's
sure
late,
that
there's got to be a late fee involved, right?
yeah. Well, it's been a while. I've had to wait. I'm hungry. Plus, the fact is, Phil Myers is probably going to try and swipe some of my cupcakes.
He better send some extras.
Oh yeah, that's right, because he's got a sweet tooth for sure. A
Absolutely.
bad sweet tooth. So I thank you for stopping by,
No problem.
and we will see you again soon.
Thank you, and I thank everybody in your audience today. And I will see you the next time. Hit me up anytime, Jeff.
I surely will. Thanks, Shane. Appreciate you.
See you guys.
Okay. I just heard from Phil. Phil says about the cupcakes. Absolutely, he will take a few cupcakes. He's got a bad sweet tooth. The man has just got a terrible, terrible sweet tooth. Well, our second in line guest is running a little bit late, so we're going to go on and we'll put them on a little bit later. But we're going to have a treat for you right now. And these people are just salt of the earth. I tell you what. And you talk about some treasure tales, they got them. And we got an extra special treat for you tonight. So you're really going to love this. So without any further ado from me, let's bring on Sid and KT Jones from Etosha Treasure Adventures and their special guest, Dinkum.
You should have
Hey,
heard that.
hi
You should have
guys.
heard my
Hey,
name.
Dinkum.
Oh, good evening, and aloha.
Yeah, so you're not in Hawaii, are you?
No, but actually, we're going to be going out there for the 80th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. And
Oh, yeah.
our treasure story tonight is actually sort of around some treasure we found out there in Hawaii. And it wasn't just in the ocean, though that sort of is where the story starts from.
Right. So
Okay.
you'll remember what Shane, your previous guest, was talking about digging up all of the hits, and treasure is relative to what you're looking for, right?
That's it.
So the same with us when we were working on the Atocha and Margarita sites and the 1715 fleet sites as well. Remember that the 1622 fleet sites had been used as a bombing site since World War II. So we found hundreds of thousands of bombs, rockets, and torpedoes and mines all scattered around in the area where we were looking for the Atocha and the Margarita. And we had big charts plotted with all these anomalies that had been generated by our survey boats, and it was our task to go out with the metal detectors and circle search and find these anomalies. And every one was a big question mark. Would it be something old? Would it be something new? And even though it got frustrating in time to go and find an old unexploded bomb or a mine or something like that on the seafloor, it was still satisfying knowing that we were finding and resolving what that mystery was. And so after finding all of these bombs and rockets and torpedoes during the course of the 1622 fleet sites, we actually willingly applied our experience finding old bomb fragments off the coast of Florida in Hawaii. Katie, why don't you tell them about that?
Well, of course, we know we're talking about the fact that the attack on Pearl Harbor happened December 7th, 1941. And we're coming up on that 80th anniversary of it. But few people know that Pearl Harbor was bombed a second time. Not talking about the second wave, but actually a second time that the Japanese came back and bombed Oahu. And that was in March of 1942. We had heard about this story called Operation K. And we'll go into a little bit of the detail, but it ended up dropping a big bomb in Oahu right above Honolulu. They missed their target again, which were the shipyards and the water storage, as well as the fuel dumps or the fuel storage areas on Oahu. But that particular story and that event actually was sort of glossed over because it was embarrassing that once again the United States was caught with their pants down, shall we say, and the Japanese came and bombed Hawaii. We went in search of where those bombs landed and actually found one of the bomb craters, one of the sites, covered in lots of greenery and jungle fauna. And we're excited, instead of cursing all these bomb fragments, we were so excited that our metal detector found some of the bomb fragments from March of 1942, and they actually had Japanese writing still on them in kanji that we found. And we just laughed, thinking for years we cursed these bomb fragments, and today we were excited about it because it's whatever, like you guys have always said, it's what you're looking for, excited about finding something. And so it seems poignant now that we're coming up on the 80th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor that we bring up that story that treasure is in the eye of the beholder.
So is Dinkum going to tell us a story, Kathy?
Oh, he has a story of picking up a very large, probably close to 20-carat emerald in his mouth one day. It was on the back deck. We had brought it up and we had just sat it down, and he went over, and all of a sudden we look over and he's gargling this quite large green uncut emerald. He thought it was his.
Yeah. Dinkum has spent a few years treasure hunting himself out on the boats. The boats, fortunately, that we worked on were big enough that it wasn't a problem having him with us. He didn't actually physically do any metal detecting that we know of. But he certainly evaluated a lot of the artifacts that we brought up and gave him the good eye, as it were. So he's seen lots of coins and bits of gold and emeralds come up on the Atocha as well as the Margarita. So I guess he has an experienced eye in these kind of things.
Yeah. And even
Well, how old is
the
Dinkum?
17 fleet he spent some time on over the years.
So how old is Dinkum, Katie?
Oh, he's 33.
I wasn't aware that they could live that long. What's their
No,
lifespan?
he's got at least another 33 years in him. I don't know what we were thinking.
Yeah, we had to put a trust fund aside, so whoever the next person is that inherits him will put up with him. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We sure did miss you guys down on the Treasure Coast. And I know you had some other things to do with, you were teaching some people how to fly, I think, weren't you, Sid?
Yeah, I've been pretty busy this year. Do a lot of flight instruction, ironically, in World War II airplanes. And I've been pretty busy with that. We're hoping that our flying schedule is going to be throttled back a little bit more this next year, so we get a chance to hit the beaches as well as go out on some of the 17-15 fleet boats. We were fortunate enough to get out this year and do a little bit of work with Bill Black's group and Mike McGuire. So
it was great fun to get back in, and I had forgotten how much fun it is to find the bottom by swimming down and planting your face on it by the time you see it. The visibility is terrible there, so you do rely a great deal on your metal detectors. Go, yep, I got the bottom, and you do a face plant.
For those of you who just metal detecting on land, there are advantages and disadvantages of being on land versus water. And one of the nice things about being in the water is that you can usually fan out targets relatively easily, depending on the bottom at least. If it's loose sand, you can pretty easily fan out targets that you get. Unlike land, which sometimes can be problematic digging things out, we don't have to worry about normally roots and things like that to have to dig around in to get a target that's overgrown with bushes or trees or things. However, on some of the sites that we work, particularly the 17-15, when you're in close to shore, the visibility is literally zero most of the time.
Right.
So
yeah.
That adds a whole nother level of technique to try to, you can get the hit and pinpoint it, but then you've got to actually find it before you lose it again. It's a little bit more of a challenge, that and the surge too, because of course in the shallower water, the surge is taking you back and forth. And here you are, no visibility, trying to lock on this target that you've been working on fanning out. So that's a little bit more
it can
of a
be
challenge
difficult.
in that regard. It's not always nice and clear water like it was down off Key West working on the Atocha and Margarita.
Yeah, there's seldom water like it's down there, I think. We got a question for you from Stacy Rasaka off YouTube. She wants to know what aircraft you're teaching in.
I'm an instructor pilot in B-25 bombers, believe it or not. So the same type of aircraft that was used during the Doolittle raid and numerous other actions during World War II. But I'm an instructor pilot in that, and actually work for an organization that teaches people how to get type ratings in those airplanes. I also fly other World War II airplanes as well. My wife and I, Katie and I, have a T-6 Texan, and I flew a Mustang for the Collings Foundation, as well as a V-24 for them, and I've flown numerous other World War II type airplanes as well.
Well, you might get in the movies sometimes.
Well, I don't have your look, so I doubt that's going to work.
Well, they might not see your face, but they may see.
Sorry to miss the picnic as well, because that was Veterans Day weekend, and there was a group of us singing patriotic songs at a flag raising ceremony on Veterans Weekend on that day. So I was sorry to have missed it, but that's an important day for everybody in this country, honoring our veterans.
Yeah, we did. Terry and Fizz are veterans. I was a veteran. Unfortunately, I think we were the only three in the house that night, but there were an awful lot watching the show that night. So, we're going to do another one. I'm working on it now. I don't know exactly what the dates are going to be yet, but I think I want to do it on the good old west coast of Florida, where we can get in the water. And do some hunting where it may not be so sanded in. So that's right, Dinkum. You tell him, man.
Yeah. He says, I'll be there. He says, I'll be there.
Well, bring Dinkum along. That'd be a hoot. And we'll do the same thing. We'll have some other people come in and we'll just sit around and cocktails at 6, dinner at 7, treasure tales at 8, and let
That
her
sounds
flip
like
her.
a great deal.
Sounds like a fun time. We had a fun time and everybody missed you. They were all very sad that y'all had to go fly some airplanes, but you got to do what you got to do.
Try
We
and make it work
understand.
out better next time, okay?
Yep, it will. We'll have a great time. So
Okay.
we will see you soon. I want to thank you so much for stopping by with us tonight. You too, Dinkum. I want to see you, man.
All right. Well, thanks for having us, and hi to everybody that's watching, and keep up the great work.
Thanks, man. We'll talk to you guys later.
All
Bye,
right.
thank
See ya.
you.
Bye-bye. Now that was interesting. You gotta love Dinkum, don't you? I told you there was a special treat on for you tonight, and Dinkum was the one. Now I myself, I never realized that a cockatoo, I think it's a cockatoo, it's a white bird. Okay, I didn't know that they could live that long. I mean, they said Dinkum's already 33, and he probably live another 33 years. So if you're looking for a long time pet, I guess that's the one. So, our guest now coming up, we're running a little bit behind time, but this is going to be another special treat for you. Um, oh, yes, I just got a message from a good friend of mine, Cricket Conroy, who's going to be on Treasure Talk pretty soon. You've seen her on Treasure Tales. Yes, my dear, I was in the Navy. I was aboard the USS Kitty Hawk CVA 63. So I was an air traffic controller, among other things. But anyway, these two folks, wonderful people, and this is kind of the essence of Treasure Tales, if you will. This is a father-daughter combo. They hunt together. And, that's what I mean about Treasure Tales, bringing people together. It's about who you hunt with. And, it just doesn't get any more special than a father and daughter. So let's bring them on right now. We got Annie Ross and her daddy. So let's bring them on. Hello there.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm good. If I was any better, I'd be guilty. I'm probably guilty anyway, but that's a story for another night, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So what's been going on, guys?
nothing much.
You've been doing some hunting, I think, hadn't you?
I got out there, let's see, maybe 2 weeks ago. And I'm looking to possibly go this next week when I'm on vacation as well.
Oh, cool. Well, for those that do not know you, each of you, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, where you hunt, where you live, what you like to hunt, and then we'll just go from there.
Okay. I'm Annie, and I live in Pensacola, Florida. And I've just started the hobby of treasure hunting with metal detectors. I got my first metal detector in July for my birthday, and so far I've just been hunting, the beaches out here in Pensacola.
Mm-hmm.
I've done much of anything else, but that's about it for me.
Which detector did you get?
I got a Minelab GoFind 22.
Cool. Now, do you hunt in the water, or are you just hunting the dry sand, the wet sand?
So far, I just hunt in the dry sand. My detector says that it is waterproof, the coil is, but I've been scared to take it in the water so far.
Oh, take it in the water. You got nothing to lose, kiddo. And that's where you're going to find the good stuff.
Yeah.
In the water. You find more trash and pull tabs, and you'll find coins up in the dry sand. But I tell you, people are, you find a lot of trash, and it's, and you can see there's 10 trash containers, but they just don't want to use them for one reason or another.
Right.
And they'll bury their empty beer bottles or whatever. And I'm a beach hunter primarily, and I just can't hardly stand to do the dry sand anymore.
Yeah.
So unless I'm neck deep in the Gulf of Mexico, I guess I'm not happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so what's some of the stuff that you found so far?
So I had what they call, what did you call it, Deb? The
What's that?
beginner's luck.
Beginner's luck.
I
The
guess.
first.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, my first time out, and I had been hunting one of the Pensacola beaches down past. There's this hotel chain, Portofino,
Mm-hmm.
and I had been hunting down there, and I was maybe like an hour and a half in. I decided to spend about 2.5 hours out there, and the last 30 minutes, I was walking back towards the parking lot where my car was, and I got a hit, and I come up with a sterling silver chain necklace that I'm actually wearing tonight.
Very cool. I
And,
wouldn't let anybody tell you it was beginner's luck. Say, hey, I found that sucker.
Well,
I'm good.
as he says, I was hooked. I'm like, all right, I've got some treasure.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I'm itching to get out there every single weekend to do it.
Oh yeah. And the
Um,
beautiful thing about it is you don't necessarily have to be, 4 or 5 hours. You can go out for a couple hours and have a blast.
right, exactly. I mean, every single time I've been, it's been 1 to 2 hours I've been out there. And I even do, 1 hour on this beach, and then I'll go down the road to another beach, do another hour out there, and see what I can get. The other really cool thing I found was a Kennedy $50 from 1993. That was
And
one
them
of the,
Canucks leave a bunch of stuff when they come down, don't they?
oh yeah, definitely. Um, Other than that, mostly coins. I find a lot of bottle caps, a lot of pull tabs, kids' cars. Those are metal.
Oh
So
yeah.
um,
Yeah,
yeah, vapes. Everybody's,
I know that's something that we used to find we were inundated with cigarette butts. Now it's vapes.
yeah.
And then of course you don't hunt the beach barefooted, I hope.
No, I don't. I always wear shoes.
Good,
Yeah.
because I've dug up a lot of needles.
Oh wow. Oh goodness.
Oh yeah.
Too.
You'll find it all on the beach. It's unfortunate, but you do.
Yeah.
You need to get yourself a headlamp and you can go hunt at night.
See, I did that one night. I was out at Pensacola Beach, and I spent 30 to 45 minutes out there, and I found that was my first kid's car I found. Was
Yeah,
on
because at night you don't have to deal with all the beach goers.
yeah, exactly. And I don't have to deal with the sun either. It's nice and
Nice and cool.
right
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah. So you out hunt your old man, don't you?
Yeah. No, actually, he's out hunted me. Oh yeah.
Well, everybody's got to get lucky once in a while. So let's let him introduce himself and tell us a little bit about him.
Okay, well, my name is Jim. I'm Annie's father. I started metal detecting in roughly around 2000. I started on land like everybody else, and then I graduated to water with a water machine. And I found it to be more enjoyable, so I ended up taking scuba diving lessons and got certified, and I expanded my horizons a bit, doing piers and
Mm-hmm.
places that a lot of people conjugated and maybe dropped coins or things like that over, the pier into the water, getting in and out of their boats and things like that. So
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
I'm in between machines now. I had a Tesoro Stingray, which I started out with and ended up getting a Tiger Shark. However, a couple of years ago, Tesoro went bankrupt and my machine was broken. So I found
Yeah.
a gentleman in East Texas that still works on Tesoros, and it's been in the shop for quite a while. So the only thing I got is my wife's little Tesoro Omega,
Mm-hmm.
that little tiny machine for the land, and I've been using that.
Well, you need to,
Really neat.
join up on Treasure Talk. You never know, you might win a new detector.
Oh, that would be
Oh, that'd be
fantastic.
awesome.
I would
So
love.
you can join on YouTube or you can join on Facebook,
Oh, okay.
either one or both.
Love to get one of
and-
those Mine Lab Excaliburs. I mean,
Those are nice.
that was the gold standard many, many, many years ago.
Well, there's more coming than that.
Yeah.
You'll find. I had 2 or 3 Excaliburs. They're
Yeah.
good machines, just a little heavy.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of good machines coming out now. The XP Deus is coming out with the Deus 2
Uh-huh.
fairly soon, and this you can take it down 66 meters.
Wow, that's incredible. It's what, 180 feet, 6
Well, maybe it's 66 feet. I don't know, whatever. It's about between 66 and 80 feet, I think.
Okay.
So, that's where you're going to find most of your stuff. Now,
Right.
have you ever looked at outfits, the hookah outfits like the Nemo or the Nomad?
No, I haven't. I haven't really kept up with water machines for quite a while. I mean,
Well,
the
this
big
is the
was
hookah.
pulse induction at one time in V8. Was it VLF or pulse induction? With-
Pulse induction is different than the VLF.
Yeah. So I'm
but-
not sure what to go with this time around.
Well, what I would advise you to do, I mean, if you join Treasure Talk, you'll learn a lot about the different machines,
Uh-huh.
and also call Myers Metal Detectors. He's
Okay.
the sponsor of one of our sponsors on Treasure Tales and Blue Spade Society and all that. He's
Okay.
got his own store down in Tampa, and
Okay.
Phil will take care of you 100% down the line. You can call him and talk to him,
Okay.
and he will advise you in the right way.
Okay.
Phil is just not one that's going to want to sell you something.
Right.
You
Right.
know, he's going to educate you and advise you on the proper thing for how you hunt.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about the Blue Nemo. It's an electric hookah outfit. You get about an hour and a half below. It goes down 10 feet,
Uh-huh.
and you can change the battery out. Now they've got a new one called the Nomad,
Uh-huh.
which you can go down 35 feet, which that's where most of your treasure is going to be, right off the beach. If you're hunting in the water off the beach, once you get out now, when I hunt with Phil, it's different. Phil is a giant and I'm a dwarf. So
Yeah.
I'm out there like this, I
Right.
can't get any deeper. And Phil's only about up to there, chest deep. So he's out there and he's digging stuff and I'm trying to float away.
Yeah.
So that would be something to look at, to hunt in the water, because that's where people lose most of the stuff. And I've hunted Pensacola Beach, great area over there, and lots of targets out in the water. So
Yeah.
you guys are going to have a really, really good time. Really good time. So how often do you get to hunt?
Well, I haven't. I'm doing land right now, and I'm waiting for my water machine to come back. If it does come back, if he's able to fix it. So I want to get back into the water really bad, because that's where I found most of my treasures. In fact, I got most of these underwater.
Wow.
Yeah.
But now I've done a lot of metal detecting in our rivers. There's a big canoe and tubing down Blackwater River and
Yeah.
Coldwater Creek. And a lot of folks have a tendency to drink a little too much alcohol and
No, they don't drink too much.
put their canoe over. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, anytime any river where they're doing canoeing, rafting, anything like
Yeah.
that, that's a really good place to hunt.
Yeah.
Because and a lot of times the water's colder in the river, so them fingers shrink up quicker
Yeah.
and the rings come flying off and,
Well, I'm a firm
and stuff
believer
like that.
that's it.
And people continue to wear jewelry to the beach, which I think is a real good policy.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
really do.
I do
Now,
too.
the only thing that I wish is they'd buy some good stuff
Yeah.
and forget the stainless steel and the tungsten and, that kind of stuff. But, it's fun to find.
Yeah.
So you do primarily water hunting, and you need to get in the water too.
I do. I ended up getting, basically like an Amazon gift card from my boss for my birthday as well, and I've kind of been sitting on it because I found one on Amazon that I really am interested in. And it's just like a tiny little pinpointer metal detector, but if I could get down, and be basically on the floor of wherever, like him under the piers and stuff like that, I could probably use it and get some stuff.
Well, is it the Noctipulse dive?
I can't remember.
I-
Noctipulse dive is a really nice unit. There again, Annie, feel free to call Phil. He will explain it all to you.
Okay.
And you never know. He may have something that he took in on trade that's still in real good shape, that you can try and not be out a bunch of money. The only problem with buying with Amazon, yeah, they'll take it back, but they don't know the first thing about metal detecting.
Right.
They don't know how to guide you.
Yeah.
All you do is click a button and they send it to you. And there's no instruction or anything like that. So when you buy from a dealer, and the only dealer that I would ever deal with is Phil Myers, you call him and you say, Phil, what's going on with this? I don't understand this. He's going to take the time and he's going to explain it to you.
Yeah.
Even if you'd have to get on a video chat like this, Phil will take the time to get on the video chat with you. And he wants to be sure that you understand how to use what you've got to have the utmost fun and most success. Now you just don't get that from a lot of other places. So
I mean, that would be nice, to have a video chat with him or whatever, because there's still some things that I don't understand about my Mind Lab. I'm still trying to work through some of the sounds and the depths and stuff like that. Because it's a basic one. It's decent. It's a good metal detector, but it's still basic. It doesn't discern between the difference of a ring or clad coins.
Well, most of them, very few of them will do that. It's just the tones, the different tones that you go by. And as you get more time under your belt, you will, the more you find, the more you'll learn. But definitely give Phil a call. You can go on the Treasure Talk page. It's a private page. You have to ask to join, but I'll admit you. And, like for instance, we're having a special show Sunday night with the Dillick from Noctamacro. And they're launching a brand new simultaneous multi-frequency waterproof detector.
Yeah.
And she's going to be on the show to tell everybody about it. It's the first show in the country to have her on, and they're giving one away.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you can't beat that.
No.
And I would encourage you to, watch some YouTube videos of different people. Another really good channel to watch would be Pacific Northwest Dirt Fishing. Ronnie and Tiffany. Now they hunt. They're out in Oregon, but they're hunting on the beaches and in the parks and on the land. So you can learn an awful lot by watching YouTube videos. But I still say always do use a dealer. It's got a brick and mortar store, because they're the ones that are going to take care of you. They want to make sure that you're happy and you understand what you're getting and the uses for it. And that makes so much difference, when you're more confident. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And with your dad, hey, Phil has got a lot of older things. He may, I tell you what, he just may have a Tesoro. That if you really liked it, he may just have one. Because he may have some older White's machines.
Yeah.
Some pulse induction machines, and different things like that. But I guarantee you, if he doesn't have them, he may know where he can get a hold of something. So I would just encourage you to call him.
Okay.
And if you can't find his number, just get up with me and I'll get you his number. But I would encourage you guys to become members of Treasure Talk, either YouTube or.
Oh yeah, I already.
And you're going to love the show if you like dive detecting. The 22nd, Steve Zazulik. You know who he is?
No, I've never heard of him.
He's a big time dive detectorist. He was the first one when they started hunting on Oak Island before Gary Drayton.
Right.
Okay. Steve Zazulik was the detectorist for Oak Island.
Okay.
And he just got a new book out, Dive Detecting. Let me see. This is one that you'll definitely want to get. Right there.
Oh, wow.
He uses the Mind Lab.
Yeah.
But it's a great book, and very, very knowledgeable guy. And just think of it, Annie. There's a lot of people over in Pensacola that hunt. You make a lot of friends,
Yeah,
you know. So
definitely.
I would encourage you to join groups. Talk to people and just have a bunch of fun.
Well, I
You
mean,
know.
that's how you found me. Is I posted my finds one day on the Northwest Florida metal detecting group, and then you ended
Yeah.
up messaging me, and it's funny because he's been doing it for years, and I never really got interested until um, this past year. I started watching this guy on YouTube, finding all kinds of things in rivers and stuff like that. I don't know, videos, D All My D.
What was his name?
Jake Kohler, D All My D is his YouTube name, and
Oh yeah,
he,
yeah. I've seen him.
I started getting interested in that, and then funny you say Oak Island because I've been watching Oak Island from the beginning. Basically, I started with season 1, and I'm into it now. Like I'm when season 9 has come out, and it aired last night. I watched the one last night. It's gotten really good, and I'm just so interested in it. That's basically what jump started my curiosity and interest in metal detecting. So
Yeah, I mean, so that's another thing, and a reason to search the area. I don't know if there are any clubs in your area.
yeah,
You're in Pensacola. I don't really know. There's got to be something around there.
yeah, there's got to.
Um, and you'll meet all kinds of people. If you want some recommendations on YouTube channels, um, I can just shoot you a few right off the top of my head that I think are top notch. I already told you Pacific Northwest Dirt Fishing,
Yeah.
Digging Canuck is another one. Finding Alabama is another great channel. I mean, there's just a lot of them out there. And I
Right.
can't remember right off the top of my head, but they're just really good channels, good people, and they take time to explain stuff to you, and you'll meet so many people, and just have a blast. And the metal detecting community is just, I mean, it is so lucky to have you with them.
Well, thank you. I
With-
can't wait to come out next week and see what I can find. I definitely told my mom does it too, and I didn't even realize that she did. And so,
Well, bring her on, get her around there behind y'all.
Mom, everybody wants to say hi to you. she was I think she was getting a little jealous earlier because she was trying to get my attention, so
I wasn't invited.
Yes, you are.
No.
Come on.
You're invited.
Hi
You're
there.
invited. So you like to detect too. You're a whole family of detectorists.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Yeah, she told me since I'm on vacation next week, she told me she's gonna go with me a little bit. We'll go to the beaches and see what we can find.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck
Yeah.
yeah. And the weather's a little cooler now, so it's
Exactly.
not as scaldy hot and not as many people sunbathing. But if we need a few storms
Yeah.
to take some of the sand out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But get yourself a wetsuit and get in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's he was talking about diving, and metal detecting at the same time. I'm a certified scuba diver as well, and have been for years, and so I think I'm ready to see what I can get, and try to go out there and get some stuff underneath water as well.
Oh heck yeah! You won't be sorry. You
Yeah.
won't be sorry. If nothing else, just the experiences of it. So make sure you join up in Treasure Talk and enter and find all the contests and enter them,
Okay.
because you might win one of Steve Zazulik's books.
Oh, that'd be
You know?
awesome.
Yeah.
So it sounds like I'm drumming up business, and I guess I'm always drumming up business. But if you talk to a lot of the people in the chat tonight that watch Treasure Tales and watch Treasure Talk,
Yeah.
I think they learn a lot, because we have a lot of varied guests on, explain stuff to you from magnet fishing, gold panning, you name it, and we have it on it. We have all the manufacturers on
Yeah.
to explain about their detectors and stuff like that. So I think you'd enjoy it. I really do. And we air at Treasure Talks on Monday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Treasure Tales is at 8 o'clock
Well, when you
on
first,
Thursdays.
I subscribe to it, and so I've been watching the past, the past episodes from, a little bit ago. So I'm basically caught up now. So
Well,
That-
good.
trying to shove something at the camera here. What do you got?
Well,
You gotta have something good.
good storms to stir things up. Several years ago, I was working after a storm, and I found a 1943 and a 1944. Where is it? 42 and 43. Now, they were both 1943 quarters that I found in the sand underwater.
Yeah.
And of course, it doesn't have really a numismatic value because they're all beaten up. But at that time frame, Pensacola was a hub of military activity during World War II.
Uh-huh.
So, like I said, you're never gonna know what you're gonna find underwater after a storm. So it's
That's it
pretty
exactly. That's it exactly. We got a question off Facebook, and I don't know exactly who it is that is asking it. And they want to know what kind of a machine does Mom use?
What is it? I don't know.
She uses a Tesoro Amigo. It's a starter. It was Tesoro's starter metal detector for sand and ground. No bells.
Great detector.
But I like it. I've found money and jewelry. My biggest find was a case of beer.
That's a good find.
It was a whole case of beer.
That they buried.
They buried it, keep it cold. I found it.
Well, that's a good find. I'll tell you what. If it was a case of Modelo, I'm there. You know?
Yeah.
That's a really good find. I like that. Tesoro's are really good detectors.
Yeah, they are.
They were just a killer detector. And it's just, things happen.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with White's. White's was the, a
Yeah.
leading machine for many, many years, and they just kind of didn't go with the flow. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is, but there's a lot of good machines out there, a lot of good detectors out there. And like I said, if you ever got any questions, you can ask me, and you can get up with Phil or his helper, Joe Vizzies, another very knowledgeable guy. They'll be happy to answer all your questions.
Great.
And you will never, ever get pressured into buying anything when you talk to the guys at Myers Metal Detectors.
Okay.
They're there to help you. Yes, they're there to sell you something if you want to buy it, but it'll be the right something, and you'll never feel the pressure.
Very good. Now, this is Myers in Tampa. Is that correct?
Yep, Myers Metal Detectors in Tampa.
Okay.
Yep, and you can find him. You can see some of the stuff on his website, Metal Detector Guru or Myers Depot.
Okay.
But I would encourage to give him a call.
Okay.
And just talk to him and tell him what you're wanting and what you've been doing. And two finer people working that shop you'll never find.
Great.
So that would be my suggestion. And
Okay.
if I didn't believe in them, I wouldn't tell you. Let me
I
tell
hear you. I hear you.
So, well, I'm certainly glad that y'all stopped by tonight with us. And I love to see the smile on your face, Annie.
Thank you.
Especially when you find that gold ring. Ooh, I'm gonna hear you hooping and hollering clear over here.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be messaging you and be like, "Hey, you want me on the show again?"
That's right. I always want you on the show. You trust me.
Awesome.
You're always welcome. Always
Awesome.
welcome. So hopefully we'll see you in the chat and some of the other shows. And
Yeah, definitely.
we wish you guys the best of luck. And call Phil and ask him about this Tesoro. He may be able to help you out with something.
Okay. That's
You
fantastic.
just never know.
Glad to hear.
And I wish Mom good luck. Hope she finds another case of beer. It needs to be a good cold case of Modelo, and then she got to call me and I'll come over and have a beer.
Well, yeah, if Dad doesn't drink it all up.
Yeah, well, you know what? If I found a nice cold case of beer, I might call you, but I'd make sure I tell you, well, I'll be here at such time. Give myself about 3 hours,
There you go.
So, all right, guys, thanks for stopping by tonight. We sure enjoyed meeting you, as did everybody in the chat and it's watching the shows tonight. And I love the smiles when you find the goodies or just when you go out, and it's very special. It's the meaning of Treasure Tales when you guys hunt together as a family. That's what it's all about. The quality time, it
Yeah.
just doesn't get any better than that.
That's
Definitely.
it.
You know, so thanks again for coming on tonight. And I know y'all were nervous about it.
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit.
but I told you you was going to be a star, and you are a star.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll see you guys later.
All right,
Okay.
have a good night.
Thanks. Now, wasn't that fun? Now that's something there that is a family that hunts together. And it goes to show you, you don't have to have the latest metal detector, big money metal detector, to have fun and to find stuff, you know. And there again, that goes back to the basic premise of Treasure Tales is always it's not what you find, it's who you find it with. And you know, the time you spend making friends and with family and how it makes you feel when you're out there detecting. It's the peace of mind. It's just a whole bunch of things. So as I was saying earlier, December 23rd is going to be a very special Treasure Tales. It's going to be dedicated, the entire show is going to be dedicated to the Blue Spade Society. And with me on the show is going to be the man that I created the Blue Spade Society for, is John David, Mr. Plays in Dirt, John David. And it's going to be Meet John David is the title of that show. And we hope a bunch of you will stop by and get to know John David, because a finer man doesn't walk the face of the earth. And he's the reason behind the Blue Spade Society. I think you're going to love him. I think it's going to be a very interesting show for you. So we hope you'll stop by. That's going to be on December 23rd. And I'll have posts up all along the way so you won't forget it. So you remember, folks, there are a million treasure stories out there. All of them are important. All of them have meaning. All of them are different. And we want to hear your treasure tale on Treasure Tales. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.